Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ram from CETAS, and thanks for joining today's webinar on Microsoft Dynamics D365 on customer service. So for today's agenda, we'll start with a quick introduction on how to improve our customer service in the current business environment that we are encountering in the with the corona situation throughout the world, and what are the various business offerings of or various feature functionalities of D365 to improve customer service. In the next part of the webinar, I will take you through the product, wherein a demonstration will be provided. So using this particular customer service module of Microsoft 365, you can define service level agreements, manage various support contracts, and handle cases or complaints that comes across from customer. You can also extend this particular module through a portal wherein customer can log in and see all the transactions that they have made with your business. And this being a Microsoft product, collaboration with other applications like Microsoft Teams, Outlook, Office applications like Excel, Word, and reporting tools like Power BI are all seamless. So that is one of the important USPs of this particular product. And interestingly, as a part of today's demonstration, a chatbot will also be demonstrated. So this will, give you wide range of possibilities to improve our customer satisfaction. And I'm pretty sure this will definitely reduce the operational cost involved in managing various customer service agents that we employ for managing the customer support. So these are the feature functionalities which will be briefed during the product demonstration. And in the last section, a quick briefing of CETAS, who we are, what we are up to, followed by a question and answer session. So in between, if any one of you come across with questions or any clarifications, please feel free to drop your questions so that we can try to answer all the questions during the webinar itself. All right, so let's get started on how can we improve the customer service in the current business environment is through this digital transformation. So we should focus on 4 key areas in order to increase the customer service. First and foremost is to engage your customers, empower your employees, optimize your operations, and transform your products. So let's go one by one to understand how each element will allow us to digitally transform our business offerings when we render the services to our customer. So to start off with, how to engage with the customers. So whenever we engage with the customer, we should know who the customer is or what they need. So it doesn't matter how the customer reaches us. It could be through various channels. For example, a phone call or an email or through any social media. So it doesn't matter any channel that we interact with our customer. We should engage the customer in all possible ways. And all our interactions with the customer should always be very specific and personalized. All right. So who is engaging with all these customers are nothing but, they are our employees, isn't it? So these employees are the one who provide, who front ends our businesses to customers. So how will an employee know who the customer is, what they want, and how do they know that? So we should provide them the best possible tool in order to render services. And importantly, these tools should allow employees to be very productive and increase their efficiency. All right. So when will the employee will start? How will the employee start interacting with the customers? Is when we optimize our operations. So how to optimize the operations is basically a definition defining your standard operating procedures and your business processes and workflows. So these are the very basic prerequisites for our employees to work upon. And we should also consider adapting the best industry practices as well. And as an organization, we should go one step further to anticipate the customer need and align the business process accordingly. All right, so I've done this optimizing my operations as well. So eventually what should I do is to transform my products or services. All right, so how should I do that? So again, it is through business model. So with the given challenges that we are encountering, we should think of ideas of which will efficiently propel the business. And especially when we consider transforming ourselves from one model to another model, it is pretty important that the customer should be around which model has to be transformed. All right, so these are the focus which will significantly affect or which will allow you to enhance service in all our business offerings. All right, so we saw what are the key areas that we are supposed to work on. So what is that Microsoft Dynamics has got to offer? So in my opinion, I have put across 4 major advantages that Microsoft offers. The first one is today I'm a small business. Tomorrow I would like to, when I grow, that's when I might need certain feature functionalities. So it means, so you start with the basic and scale up as and when your business demand increases or whenever there is a growth in the business demand. So that's how the application works. For example, I could start off with just a basic customer service module. Later, I consider integrating this with an extension called Portal, wherein a customer can log in themselves. Or in future, I also wanted to integrate with my telephone dialer. So that's how the application. So you can scale as and when or however the business demand grows. And the second best advantage that Microsoft has is the productivity. So how does it improve your productivity is the user interface. It may not be a transactional applications like an ERP system. Rather, it is a customer-friendly or user-friendly system wherein you'll be able to use the application pretty easily, and this will also helps us to have a better adaptability throughout the organization. So that's the next USP that I would like to put it across. And then we can also make the system intelligent by defining certain processes or automating certain processes. And efficiency can also be improved. I'd like to give an example here using a chatbot. Let's say, as I said, there is a chatbot which can coexist with the customer service module. Over a period of time, we can nurture the chatbot and it becomes very intelligent to answer all our customer queries. And the next question would be on, all right, I can see why there is a need of customer service and I could see the advantages of Microsoft. So will it suit my business, or will my company be taken care with this particular application that we're talking about? Definitely yes. So you could be doing a business, let's say starting from manufacturing, logistics, transportation, or banking or financial sector, or even educational sector, or a retail. So let's name any industry across. Wherever there is a touch point of customer service, or there is a touch point with interaction with the customer, managing their queries and complaints or cases, Even best example, I should say, is IT and IT-enabled services. So across the industries, we will be able to configure, or we will be able to implement this particular model that we're talking about, or the application that we're talking about, right? So far, so good. So I will move on to the actual product demonstration now. All right, so this is the application that I'm talking about. So here, the application that we are looking at is a web application. So as long as you have, basic internet connection, I'm pretty sure you should be able to access the application. And you have got effective dashboards and charts. And these dashboards and charts are completely configurable, or you can drill down, from your end. Let's say I would like to see, the list of low priority cases. So the moment I click this, I would like to know, let's say I wanted to see the high priority cases based on the customer. I would like to know which customer that I'm talking about. So I will select this. So probably I'll get the details on the 7 high priority issues or tickets across all my customers. So I can drill down as many number of times that I want. So this is the, the dashboard that we are talking about. So let's get into the actual service module on what we actually offer. All right. So it all defines, it all starts from definition of, service level agreements. So what is a service level agreement? So this is the commitment that, we would have given to all our customers when we provide our products or services. So whenever there is a clarification or a problem or a query or a request, we are bound to reply or respond to such queries within a stipulated time. So I'm just giving you an example wherein the first immediate response time should be made within 30 minutes. So that is a first KPI of an RSLA. And the response or the resolution should be provided in an hour or so. So this is a KPI which I have defined. So what I can do is I can manage multiple service level agreements like how I have shown below. You could see, you can define the service level agreements based on, type of customers. Let's say based on large enterprises, you could have a separate, SLA like gold. So you can see these SLAs are for large enterprises. Similarly, you could define one for mid-sector and even for small and medium-sized companies as well. So the definition is basically to achieve the key performance indicators on how are we rendering services to the customers. So then comes the next definition of defining the service schedule, which is nothing but when I am available or when the company is available. So should I need to consider a customer support of 24/7, or I am available only from Monday to Friday between a stipulated time? So this is the definition that I would like to showcase here. So here you could see I have taken an example of defining the working hours from 9:30 to 6:30, and the working days are from Monday to Friday. And even I have gone to one more extent, one more level. I've gone to one more level, and I have defined the holidays as well. So that's the next provision wherein you'll be able to define the list of various holidays here on here. So here I have defined the list of calendar holidays wherein the business may not function or will be off during these stipulated time. So here you can define various holidays as per your company calendar. So that is definitely available in the system as well. All right, so now I have defined what is my service level agreement and when the company is ready to provide the services. All right, so then let's get into the next important thing, which is nothing but our contracts or entitlements. All right, so when we define the contracts, we can define in various or numerous multiple ways. First and foremost example is that a contract could be defined with SLA or without SLA, which means certain times what happens as an organization, we may not have SLAs for the products that we have, but at the same time, there could be few contracts with some other customers wherein we would have agreed for a defined, service level contracts. So first, I would like to define, a new contract, just giving you a sample of understanding of how it works. All right. So, a contract could be defined based on number of cases, which is nothing but the support tickets that we allow as part of the contract, or it can be based on number of hours. For example, a contract could be defined for 12 months, out of which we are allowing customers to have 100 cases or 100 number of tickets as part of this contract. So what system will do is it will start tracking the number of tickets which has been raised against this particular contract. This is one way of defining a contract. The other way could be based on number of hours. All right, as a part of this particular contract, how many number of hours that we are providing for support services? Predominantly, I should give an example saying, IT and ITES organization will definitely work in this model, wherein the number of hours that they provide as a part of the support contract, let's say, for example, it could be 100. So based on the number of hours they consume, system will be able to know what is the remaining number of hours that the customer is entitled for. All right. So I'm just defining a sample contract, and I'm going to define, a customer here. So here, I'm defining a customer to whom I'm going to prepare this particular contract for. And I'm also defining a contract start date and a contract end date as well. So by end of this month, I'm just providing a monthly contract here. And here I can also say, what is the total number of hours that I'm supporting for? So I'm giving it as 100 hours. And then this is very, very, very important, aligning to the presentation that I was talking about. The entitlement channels. So as I was referring to in my presentation, the channel customer can engage with us on any possible channels. So we could define our 100 hours of support contracts. Let's say I can do it 30 hours on phone, and I can just keep on adding, let's say, over email, it should be 40 hours, or even if I wanted to add over web, I can very well do for another 30 hours. So all these things are possible. So which means the entire 100 hours is split into multiple channels. Again, these are the functionalities which are available, but however, I mean, based on your, a business requirement, we can choose to, use this or not to use this. So that can be, we can be flexible in that. All right. So I'm just taking an example of a contract which I have defined for a number of years. So here, this is how it could be. So here you can see the number of duration of the contract. What is the total number of hours that we have committed? What is a breakup as well? So this is something we have defined. And if you happen to notice, as a part of my contract, I'm defining my SLA, which we defined earlier. So based on the type of customer or based on the type of SLAs that we define, system will act accordingly. All right, so let's get into the next mode. All right, so the contract is also defined. Fine, let's start with the first ticket or with the first case. So let me create a new case. So this is the case screen, wherein I'll be able to see list of active cases. You could see the case title, the case number, the priority, where the case is coming from or landed to us, who is the customer, and what is the status, and when is the case has been created, right? So here, when we create a case, so I'll be able to say, let's say, image is not getting loaded in the website. Let's say this is a problem, right? So Here, this is how we can classify the case, whether it is a query regarding a product, or are they asking any general information, or even if you want to know whether it is where the problem comes from. Is it from a delivery or from a maintenance? So probably I say, because we delivered a website, so I'm just I'm selecting delivery as an option. So here I can also tag, or I should tag the customer from whom the case has been created. And we should also define the case origin. Let's say, for example, somebody has dropped in, through web or even through phone call. So we can also tag the active contract which has been linked to this particular customer. Okay. So then comes the interesting part here. What is a type? Whether it is a problem, or whether it is a question, or is it a request? So I'm saying, because image is not getting loaded, so I'm saying I'm classifying this as a problem. All right. So now I've defined I'm trying to record a case. So this is how the cases are being recorded. So the moment I save this case, save the record, I'll be able to generate, or the system will generate a case number in addition to the SLAs that we have committed for. So for example, we have defined a case here, and you could see the first response, or what is the SLAs that we are supposed to talk about. So this is something system will automatically define. So here you can see my SLA has been met for the first response, and my KPI for the next resolving the query, the countdown has started. So technically what it tells is I'm supposed to complete this particular issue within 59 minutes. I've just taken an example, which I wanted to put it across. Okay. So what we can actually do is, all right, I have got a ticket. So these are the various processes which we have. So first process is to identify the problem, and then is to research or identify the root cause of the problem, and then the resolve. All right. So now that I have recorded a ticket, I would like to know, is there any previous similar, cases which we have got, or there is a knowledge repository within the system as well. So what it does is, by the time, the text has been taken from the title of this case, and it's preloading all the related cases or the steps to resolve a particular query. So let's say, for example, I can use this, maybe I can select this, and it will say, all right, follow this step 1, 2, and 3, and then my case could be possibly resolved. So this is what we have, we call it as a knowledge base or a knowledge repository. So if you want to share the written documents, the procedures to the customer as well, yes, you can very well do so. Probably I can click the send email. It will directly trigger this email to my customer saying that, all right, from the person who is attending the case to the customer. And here you can define your steps and procedures. So these are the procedures that we define. So I can straight away click send, so that the customer gets to know, all right, with whom I spoke to, he is able to understand my problem, he is able to resolve my query, and he's also giving me a procedure of how to handle this particular case in case, when it comes in future. So that is how effective your customer response could be. So I can move on to the next stage, which is, let's say I'm going to the next stage, which is I'm doing a research about this particular case here. All right, so I've gone through the knowledge base, and at the same time, I wanted to, let's say, create a task for myself, which is, let's say, I, do a research about this issue. Maybe I'm defining the activities for myself. Let's say I'm doing a current, creating a task for myself, and I'm also setting a due date as well. All right. So what happens is these are my ticketing tools or softwares, which will allow you to track all the activities that you have performed. So this is what you have under timelines as well. Okay. So then what we also have here is, so we were talking about the cases, the knowledge article, and the activities or timelines that we actually have. So then, we can also, go ahead and resolve this case. Before doing that, I just wanted to take you to the next feature, which is the self-service portal. So that is something, which I was also trying to demonstrate. I was trying to cover during today's webinar. So let's say the ticket has been raised, and let's say if we have to give, or if we want to extend this particular customer service module as a customer self-service, yes, we can very well do so. So what we have to do is we have to provide a username password for the customer, and he will be able to access tickets by himself. So first scenario, we created a ticket from in the application. The next scenario I would like to demonstrate using the customer portal, so wherein customer logs in by himself and he's able to log in directly. So I'm giving my username and password. And please keep in mind, so the design of this page is completely configurable. You can make you can bring in your logos, you can change the colors, you can restrict on what records to be provided. Yes, you can very well do that. So now I have logged in as a customer, and this is my profile. So this is the customer profile that we are talking about. So now I would like to raise a ticket. So on top there is a button which says My Support, and this is how I can raise my tickets as well. So you could see the same set of details, but we are giving an option for the customer to create it by themselves. So now I can pick it and I can select the customer. So here, because I have given a specific login to the customer, the customer name is, and if you notice, it is also giving me, let's say, in case of any previous cases based on whatever knowledge base that we had, it will before even creating the case, system gives you a warning. So this is where we are saying the system is actually intelligent, where it allows the customer to go through the knowledge base as well, right? So let me create a sample case created from portal. So this is for the customer, and now I can define whether it's a problem or let's say it's a request. So these are the same options that we picked or that we chose when we created those the tickets in the system as well. And the best part is you can also do an attachments. If you want to attach certain things, yes, we can very well do so. Probably I'm just attaching a file here, and I'm saying this is a sample case which got created from self-service portal. Yeah, so now what happens is the ticket gets created. So from a customer point of view, he didn't call anyone, he didn't talk to anyone, and here you can actually see a case number has been generated. So I'm just making a note of this particular case number. All right, so let me go back to the CRM once again, and I should be able to see the cases which we created. So let me quickly help you with that. So yeah. So let me search the cases. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. So here you could see sample case has been created from the portal. And if you happen to notice, the source of this particular case is auto-populated. It didn't ask for the origin. So this is how effectively we can collaborate with the portal when it comes to extending this application through a self-service portal as well. All right. So similar way, I can do my research with the knowledge base as a support executive. I can do a knowledge base, and I can do certain process automations as well. Say if I have to automate certain processes or enable workflows for getting approvals, yes, very well we can do so. Okay. Now I would like to take one step further on, how effectively this can collaborate with your Microsoft Teams. So now I have logged in as, in Microsoft Teams, and this is my dashboard that we have logged in initially. Just a minute. So these are the same screens that we saw, in the application. So here I will be able to see the same case which has been created through the portal. So yeah, the same case ID can be created. So it works seamlessly with the with the application. Same as how you saw in the customer port. In the portal, as well as from your this thing as well, actual application. So this is one best example of how effectively this can collaborate with the teams. And again, this being Microsoft, I also wanted to highlight about the Outlook feature functionality. So here you could see Dynamics 365, and from here I will be able to create them as complaints or cases as and when I can create tickets as well. So this is also available. And then I also would like to talk more on the dashboards. So what are the various dashboards that we have? So this is onto the customer service. So I could see dashboards based on team members or the priorities that we have. Or let's say I don't like any of these dashboards. Probably I would let me showcase one or two more so that you'll have a fair idea of what I'm talking about. And let's say I wanted to customize my own dashboard to my management or to my manager. I can very well do so. So here I can say Dynamics 365 dashboard. I can click this and I can define a chart or a dashboard based on my preferences, individual preferences. I could very well do so. Yeah. So what you can also do is you can also pull in your Power BI as part of this particular dashboard. So I've created a dashboard now based on 6 layouts as per my convenience. And here I could add many number of charts as I want. Based on my need. It's completely configurable. And there is no technical dependency here. You don't rely on Microsoft or us to do this feature functionality. So this is what another USP which I wanted to highlight from Power BI, which is a reporting or analytical tool. Let's say your core ERP application has got something else, is either running on some other platform or some other product. You could pull the records from there, and I will be able to we can convert this. We can pull in those dashboards to Dynamic CRM as well. So this is how easy you can add your charts. Maybe I can also add one more chart here, maybe active accounts based on industry. So I'm just saving it, closing this one. So yeah, this is my dashboard. So if I want to add new dashboards, yes, we will do so. Okay. So then comes the last but interesting piece of this particular demonstration is the chatbot. All right, so let's go into the same scenario wherein I have a case ticket which I have created through my self-service portal. So you could see that. And instead of logging through the portal, I would like to talk to a chatbot. All right. So let me demonstrate this as well. So assume that I'm the customer and I'm talking to a chatbot now. So I'm trying to greet or I'm starting my conversation with a greeting. So the chatbot would revert back to me saying, hi, I'm a virtual agent. I can help you with this. So how can I help you today? What is my issue status? Or what is my issue status, or what is my problems or cases? So typically what happens is these are the conversations which our customer service executive would handle. So customer has to call them, and they will have to be there on the queue and then taking it forward. So rather, we have provisions like customer service, self-service portal, as well as a virtual agent, which is asking my case number. So I have provided this case number, which is given by the system again. So I've just made a reference, I've made a note of it. So now system will say your case status is in progress. Can you see that? So now it is also asking me, would you like to know the case priority as well? Probably, yeah, that's a value-added information for me, so that I would like to know the answer for that question as well. So would you like to know the case priority? I'm saying yes. All right. So it is going to fetch the record and say the priority is high, medium, or low. So yeah. So here it says the priority is normal. So now it is asking again, would you like to know the status of some other case? I'm saying, no, I'm not interested. I think my job is done. So I'm saying no. Then the bot is going to ask you again, did that answer your question? Yes. And then from there on, the closing conversation happens now, which would be on, would you like to give me a rating against how was the experience? I would say, yeah, not bad. I mean, it's a decent start for a chatbot to get an interaction with. And thanks for your feedback. Can I help you with anything else? No, not really. Thanks, bye. So this is how we can automate certain processes. So think about a situation wherein we have got people handling all these queries and supports. These chatbot can help you reduce your cost and automate your processes as well. All right. So I think with the chatbot, what we saw is on not just a couple of queries. So what else I can do with chatbot is that we also be able to create new cases or complaints like how we did from the self-service portal. And if I have to send a reminder to the case owner, I mean the person who is actually handling the issue, I can very well do so. And at the same time, if I want to share an image or a video of a ticket, I can very well do that. You can check the warranty period. You can leave a note to the owner. Let's say before coming home, you can give me a call. So you can just leave all these interactions with the bot, and it can also tell you the estimated time of completion as well, and the remaining hours in your supporting calls. So it can evolve as and when your business increase, or we can automate certain processes. Is what I wanted to highlight as part of this chatbot feature functionality. All right. So now that we have gone through the product, so we have seen the various feature functionalities, what it can do, and what Microsoft Dynamics can offer for improving our customer service experience. So I think we are getting into the last section of our today webinar, and which would be on a quick brief of who we are and what we do. We represent CETAS, and we have been in this industry, in the software selling business, and we are aligned with Microsoft for the last 10 years. And we are based out of Chennai, which is our head office. We also have our offices in Bangalore and Dubai. Predominantly, we work as a Microsoft stop shop, wherein we offer all the services across Microsoft business applications like ERPs and CRMs, and even we take care of maintaining .NET applications as well. So we focus on industries like contracting, manufacturing, retail, education sector. Very well, these are our key focus on industrial areas. And at the same time, you can trust us on having a good, implementation, and you will get to know the value additions when you interact with our consultants whenever, the processes are being defined. And we also have vertical solutions which are built on top of the base Microsoft 365 platform. Those are very specific to industries.